Hi guys, welcome back to Shot on Film. My name is Spencer Bacon, and today we're going to be going over developing film at home. Now, I do want to be clear, first of all, that this is not a step-by-step instruction for developing at home. I'm not quite there yet. This was just my experience in my very first time developing at home. I thought it was interesting, the results were cool, so I wanted to share it with you. So real quickly though, firstly I'll go over the process. So the process for developing at home, you gotta load your film into a Patterson tank or whatever tank that you use. And then you have to mix your chemicals. I used the Cinestill CS41 kit for developing, and I did so that mine was a 2-bath system, so I mixed all my chemicals and then went about my developing. The developer takes 3.5 minutes with consistent inversion for the first 10 seconds and then 4 inversions every 30 seconds. And the Blix is the same inversion schedule, but 8 minutes instead of 3.5. And there was just a couple things I wanted to talk about. So the first thing was loading into the Patterson tank. Loading can be a little bit tricky. The best advice I can give is if you have dummy rolls at home that you kind of screwed up on that you don't care about, or old negatives you don't care about, practice loading. Like if you're just watching TV, just practice loading without looking at the reel itself, because you're not going to be able to look at the reel itself. And then that'll help. I mean, I practiced and still loading the film actually onto the reel itself, my hands were sweating, and I also accidentally ruined one of the photos. I kind of creased it a little bit. I'll show you what that one looks like in a minute. The other thing I wanted to note was the chemicals. So on the instructions for the Cinestill kit, it says that you want your distilled water to be at 125 degrees. That is not necessary unless you want to immediately go into developing. If you don't care about letting your chemicals rise up to heat after the fact, then that's fine, because you're going to be doing that anyway after they're mixed. It doesn't require a different mixing temperature. You can just mix it at room temperature and you're fine. That's what I did. I mixed mine at room temperature and then raised my degree up. I got all of that done. After you do your Blix, then the film is now no longer sensitive to light, so you can remove the cap and then rinse out your film. Now, this is where I did mess up. I did not rinse it off properly. Let it sit a little bit longer. I got a little too excited. I was a little too worried. I was like, is there actually going to be stuff on here? So I then rolled it out, and I wish I should have let it wait a little bit, because it's a little hard to see. I move very quickly in this video, but there's water droplets throughout the negative. So I also do have a film squeegee coming too, so I can also blot out those water droplets if they show up again, so that the image is a little bit more uniform. Because as you can see in the images that I got, some turned out great, like this picture of my car, but then some didn't. And this was the one I was talking about earlier where I accidentally creased it. You can see that scratch on the bottom. That's where I creased it, and I think there was probably also a water droplet right there in the middle as well. So if you do want to develop for your first roll, don't do anything that you really need, so that if you mess it up, it's not the end of the world. Overall though, I cannot recommend developing film enough. It saves money, it really does. I mean, I bought all these chemicals on Amazon for $40, which is overpriced for Cinestill, because I can find this same pack at another camera store for 20 bucks. But even though I spent a little bit more on here, I divided this by the amount of rolls it says you can do, and I'm still paying $1.75 per roll of film. So this easily will pay off, and I cannot wait to develop more. I have a roll of medium format right here that I will be developing on Sunday, so I'm really, really excited to try that one out. But anyway, that's about everything I have for you guys today. I hope you have a great day and keep shooting film.